Are we live? I think we're live. 1 second, folks. I think we're good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Phantom Racing League YouTube channel for the Round 8 finale in the Phantom Pro-Am Series. Just like on Saturday night, we are finishing this thing off. Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The last chance to decide who will be the 4 finalists going for a title in Homestead next week. But we got to settle this first. So let's get everyone settled in. How's everybody doing tonight? It's likely it'll just be me tonight, unless my partner in crime, Wallbridge, can hop in here. I've reached out to him. Hopefully he can get back in here. So we'll get things settled in. We'll paint the picture, as I would say, for the points situation. And I'll even put it in the chat so y'all at home can follow along. We have a very tight battle as opposed to the battle for the Final Four on Saturday. The Pro Series battle is much closer. You got Parley, the points leader, coming off a win at the Charlotte Roval, his second of the season, and a much-needed win to give himself a big cushion above the cutoff. He's only 26 points above, so he needs a very clean, quiet night to stay above the cutoff line where he is right now. Field Filler second in points, 22 above. And Showtime Flash, who got a win at Auto Club, missed last week's race, which moved him down to 3rd place. Still above the cutoff despite missing the race last week. He is up +3. And the last spot is right now being occupied by the number 24 of Black Cross. He is ahead of Elvin Priest by 2 points. Elvin Priest outside of the cutoff. He needs a good result tonight to get himself into the Final Four. He is 2 points out. And then you got 19mm, 6 points out. He has as much of a chance as the rest of these guys do. Right within reaching distance. And then you got 7th, Old Johnny Boy. Looks like he might be out of it for the 2nd week in a row, but things could change. I don't see him in the party right now, so the 41 might be out of the picture. So it'll be 6 cars going for 4 spots, and plus some other field fillers. Looking to mix things up, including the ones you'd expect, like Shag Attack in the number 50. He's been racing amongst both series. He's always going to be one to look out for. And then you got K2005 and the 43 car also going to be in the field. Maybe 1 or 2 other cars. I'm not entirely sure. I think qualifying is going to be wrapping up here if it hasn't already. And there he is. Partner in crime, Wallbridge, welcome to the booth.
Oh, hello?
Hi.
Hey, there we go. I
There.
apparently muted my mic for some odd reason.
Yeah, well, I can hear you loud and clear now, and I already got the thing started, so we're good to go.
Awesome.
The problem is, I don't have any driver streams up, so I can't tell if qualifying is over or not.
I'm...
Oh, hold on. As I say that, I just refreshed the page. I see Parley's stream up. I'm gonna put that up on screen now. And speaking of Parley, he's on pole tonight at a 31.82, and outside of him, on the front row, will be Showtime Flash in the 7.
Yeah.
That'll be
Okay,
our
good.
front
They're
row.
implied. Alright, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta take care of something real quick.
Alright, gotcha. So, once again, to recap, you got Parley on the pole, and then Showtime Flash on the front row next to him in 2nd. Then row 2, you got Field Filler in the 44. Next to him, 19mm needs a good race tonight, -6 below the cutoff. He needs a really good race tonight. He will be rolling off 4th place. Row 3, we'll have Black Cross in the 24, and then outside of him, Elvin Priest in the 42. And then the last row, the 2 cars that are not in the playoff picture, but here for a little bit of fun, and hopefully going for a checkered flag to play spoiler amongst the playoff field, is Shaq Attack in the 50 and K2 in the 43. And that is your field. A very unusual, small field compared to what we're used to tonight, but we are rolling with what we have. So, we will let our field know that we are ready, and we'll see if they're ready. Once again, apologies for the delay, folks. We're starting a little behind here. But better late than never. Had to get some things situated. We're still getting some things situated, but we are going to get that stuff going out on the fly, so don't you worry. Oh, come on. Got plenty of invites sent our way, so that way we can jump in when we need to. They're still paused, it looks like, so not quite ready to join yet. Need to read off some of the sponsor reads and also thank all of our fans for tuning in as well. I just want to make sure we timed this correctly.
Sorry, I had to help the wife with something, but I'm back.
It's all good. We're still waiting on.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
I let them know that we're ready, but apparently there's a bit of a delay.
They're just not. I think they're waiting on somebody. I think there were supposed to be 9 drivers tonight.
Could be.
So did you already run through your picks?
We can do that now. I just read off the.
All the points.
I was getting a call, and I wasn't getting a call. There's a lot going on here. I read off the lineup picks. I'm gonna pick the man that's on the outside of the front row, and that's Showtime Flash.
Oh boy, yeah, that's a good pick. Cats are being very playful right now. No, I am absolutely looking at the wrong theories. Oh wow, so I was right at the end of last week, dude. It is.
We can jump in now.
Between 5 points. So this race is definitely big for 3 drivers that are in contention.
And while we're loading in, I want to thank all of our sponsors. This race is brought to you by MFF Motorsports, Chris's Auto / Towing, J-Pace Racing, Everything NASCAR, Firelinks Racing Network, The Super Squad, Everything Stop Motion Network, FTR Racing League, North American Racing Series, MenaPeach.com, Mark McAttack, and the Flash 9 Fitness Program. If you go out and lick a tree, you too will become the next Einstein or Chad Knaus or whatever you desire to become. You will literally become Hercules if you lick a tree.
Yeah, no, I will say, though, I'm watching out for Black Cross right now. He's only ahead of Elvin Priest in 5th right now by 2 points.
Part of the line flashed to the outside, and we're Green Flag Racing here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, we saw a good race on Saturday. Or I wasn't there on Saturday, but I did watch the stream. The racing was good, and it's exactly what we're seeing right now. We're going to be seeing the 2x2. Nice little draft race going on, and Parley doing what he can to solidify himself at the top of the standings as we go into Homestead next week.
It's not a do-or-die situation for Parley, and especially with the small field, I think the worst he can finish is 8th, and that's for 29 points. So I think it's official that he's in the championship 4.
Yeah, no, definitely in the championship 4, but we got 3 cars we need to keep an eye on. That's a 24 Black Cross, a 42 of Elvin Priest, and a 78 of 19. The difference between them, 8 points from 4th to 6th for that final transfer spot into Homestead.
Yeah, things are getting really mixed up there in the pack. One of the outsiders, including the 50th Shack Attack, who was in contention on Saturday, mixing things up as usual. Him and the 43 are also up there, as Kay's getting around the 42 of Alvin, who's starting to drop to the back.
Yeah, Elvin needs to have the run of his life right now. This is going to be his last season in this series. Going straight to iRacing next season. So, Elvin wants to go out with a run at the title at Homestead. And right now, at the back of this field, that is not how you get it done.
And I've noticed the performance of this 42 car the last few races has been kind of off from what we're used to seeing out of this 42 car. And he's already been making the transition over to iRacing, which is a completely different beast, as opposed to over here. And do you think that maybe that could be a factor in his performance tonight?
Well, obviously you have to count all distractions, right? I mean, it's his retirement year in this series, so you know he wants to put in a good effort, and you know, it might be taken away from his practice time on track, which in a league like this would definitely hurt your chances of having good finishes, so you can't say it's not a factor.
Watching the 43, the car in front of him of K2, his car seems to be zigzagging back and forth. I don't know if the 42 is seeing that as well, as there's a gap between those two that's starting to grow.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm seeing the 43 getting wiggly right now, but that's probably why Elvin's giving him a wide berth, staying in his draft, but staying far enough away where if that 43 does end up losing his tail, he won't be involved in it.
As the rest of these 6 cars are starting to break away from the 2 at the back. Showtime Flash looking to separate himself from the herd and hopped up to the outside. Let's see who goes with him. The 24 thought about it.
Yeah, nobody really went with him through the corner right there, but when you're the 7 of Showtime, being able to hold your own with, especially on a track like this where drafting is important, being able to hold your ground and not lose positions is definitely a strength that we've seen a lot of from Showtime Flash on tracks like this. Unfortunately, this time he absolutely misses turn 1, got into the wall, going into turn 1, trying to get as much on entry as he could, and end up killing his entry. And then you see that 24 Black Cross shoot to his inside, take the advantage, and then takes away 3rd.
I think the 7 car is very aware of what's at stake here. He's one of the best in the series, but he's been kind of on and off as far as the races he's been able to attend. He missed last week's race at Charlotte, and that's what's dropped him out of the points lead and into the position he's in now. And luckily, even despite missing last week's race, he's still in the positive as far as points are, but it's not a safe cushion at all. And with the stage format, it's 2 required pit stops. I think he's probably saving his tires a little bit, might be thinking about some strategy.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to be overworking this car. You can see him just like, the guys who he's inside, he's not racing them, he's letting them go on by. I mean, we saw him miss turn 1, that's how Black Cross was able to get into 3rd. But he's not overdriving that car, he's just doing whatever is required to just get through this first run. But the one guy who's who I'm kind of keeping an eye on too, which we have to, is the leader of Parley. I mean, he's kind of at the spot now in the points where he can kind of throw caution to the wind in this race and kind of see what he can get out of that 5 car instead of trying to play for points today. So I'm interested to see what he does. But right now, that 7 car is definitely not working it too hard this early.
5 car Parley still the race leader. Has been the race leader since the drop of the green. Field filler up into 2nd place. 2nd in points, 2nd on track. Chasing down the leader, sitting in a pretty comfortable spot right now. He's got the 24 Black Cross, who's very well thinking about points. Him and the 78, who are much closer to the cutoff than the top 2 cars are.
Yeah, and another car who's close to the cutoff is Elvin Priest, who's now lost that lead draft and lost the 43 as well. Just kind of casually riding in the back right now. Not the run, not the playoff series we thought we'd see out of the 42.
Now I think the goal for the 42 now is just don't get lapped. And if you do, hope that the car in front of you doesn't get lapped as well.
Yeah.
It's a small field, it's only stage 1. You'll have a chance to regroup and try again, but right now we're still quite a ways away from the end of stage 1. We still have 2 rounds of pit stops underway as we ride on board with Black Cross in this number 24 Exalted Chevrolet running in 3rd. And it's pretty calm so far. It's still pretty early in the race, so no need to really push it, as we said before with the 7. But as we say that, we have a pass for the lead. Field filler to the inside of Parley, looking to the inside, opening the door. They're 2x2 up at the front. Shack Attack following along. That's going to leave the 24 on the outside hung to dry.
Yeah,
Parley
and
saw
I
the
think
move coming. He's going to keep that lead under control. 44 is not going to have anything for him for the moment. But the 24 is going to get passed by the 50 of Shack Attack for 3rd place.
Yeah, and I think if you're the 5, I think I would have let the 44 go by and kind of ride in his draft for a little bit, because there was a gap there where Parley would have been able to get back behind him and not have to worry about a car sneaking to his inside. And kind of just ride behind him, start saving your stuff, and let the 44 start burning theirs off faster, and you can save your tires, save fuel, just kind of riding in 2nd. But Parley does not want to give up that lead.
Coming across the line to complete lap number 16. We're getting very close to the end of the fuel window. How varying are these strategies going to be? Is everyone going to be on the same page, or is anyone going to try to outdo the other?
Yeah, definitely waiting on that first pit stop, and you're seeing the signals come up on the drivers. There it is, the 44 signaling he's pitting this time. The 5 of Parley is signaling that he's pitting this time. I didn't see anybody else get the direct signal, so we're going to see who goes with him. Parley dives low. And it's actually only Parley that comes down this time. Everybody else stays out.
2 cars in the back, the 42 and the 43 coming in tandem. But the 5 car sitting duck.
Oh, that's not what you want to see if you're the 5 car Parley. You on a track like this where draft is necessary, you want to have help. Now the 44 is just going to dive to the apron and save himself on entry. Play it cautious.
Is gonna, as he tries to gas it up to be even with the 24 and not lose too much time. It's a very conservative and safe entry from the 44. It's a good call, especially with a pack like that. Not knowing who's gonna try to enter the pits with you and maybe misstep your brake marker and end up rear-ending you on pit road, give you a speeding penalty. Because we saw that on Saturday with a couple of guys trying to enter pit road at the same time, and it caused a massive bottleneck.
Yeah, that's probably why you saw Field Filler have the kind of entry that he did. But right now, as we're seeing the 7, Showtime Flash, the 50, and the 78 to tail.
Field filler ahead of the 24. There's the 5 car who had just come out of the pits. So he's going to take advantage of the fresh set of tires, but he's got no one to run with, so he's losing out on some of that precious draft that he could be having right now. And that's that's the catch to running up front for as long as Parley did. He's burning through so much more fuel than guys like Showtime Flash are.
But look where he's going to come out, though. He's coming out far ahead of the 7, the 50, and the 78. Miles ahead of them, and only on a 1-lap fresher set. Well, technically a 2-lap.
They will merge out behind the 44 and the 24, so what a gap.
Yeah, but they got a group of 3, and then you got a group of 2 and a group of 1, so I think that Flash and those 3 are going to catch Field Filler and Black Cross, and I think they're going to work together to try and get to that 5-car Parley. But what a first stop, though, by the 5. The first one out of anybody to come down pit road, and it absolutely works out in spades to get him out front, or to keep him out front. But it did not work for the 42 of Elvin. He gained 1 spot on track, and that's all he got out of that stop. And Elvin's been a guy that we've kind of equated to, you know, pit road efficiency. So to see him not really have the kind of gains we're normally used to seeing, definitely a little bit worrying for a guy who's about 2 points away from fighting for a title at Homestead.
Yeah, the points that he could be getting in this stage are going to go to a guy like 19mm, who he is racing with in the points. He's 4 below Elvin, and he's going to gain some points here with where he's running. And then you got the 24, who's 2 points above the cutoff, 2 points ahead of the 42 in the standings, and you see the cars behind him are closing in, reeling him fast. But if the 24 keeps running where he is, that's some extra points that he can put in his pocket.
Yeah, now that we've gotten the first cycle out of the way, seeing that the short pit can have its benefits. If you're the 78, are you gonna try and do what Parley did and come down maybe a lap or 2 early?
Possible with where he is right now in line. I don't know if he could pull it off, but it really depends on track position and all that, and also some guys might mix it up on this final stop. I think if they play their cards right. We saw this on Saturday where a couple of cars decided not to take tires on the final stop, and it paid off. And I'm looking at a guy like Flash who might do that exact thing and steal the stage win for himself if he just saves his tires for the end.
Yeah, no, Black Cross, we saw it in the race in New Hampshire, using the pit strategy to get himself up front when he was all but out of the race.
And here comes Field Filler.
To the inside of the 5-car Parley. They're side by side going down the back stretch. And it looks like Field Filler's going to dive below the apron and come down to make his final green flag stop of this stage.
I think he heard you. He heard you talking about short pitting. He's like, I'm going to try it. So we'll see if it works out for the 44.
I mean, look at how, like, it's been, what, 5-6 laps since the first round of green flag stops, and put the rest of the field finally it's just caught Parley. So, I mean, we've seen it have its benefits, and especially when you have less than about 15 laps to go on the stage. If you're a guy like that 44 Field Filler, knowing that you can hold the field off if need be, wouldn't hurt to try, especially when you know that you're all but locked in to the round of 4 at Homestead.
So now we just got this group of 5. No one seems to be responding to the 44 short pit, I think they're sticking with their original plans and not letting the 44 kind of alter theirs.
Is now Alvin Priest is on pit road. And now here comes K2005. No leaders I see yet signaling that they're going to come down this time, but doesn't mean that they didn't verbally say they were coming down this time. And there it is, the 7 of Showtime Flash coming down. .44, the first one to come down pit road on this round of green flag stops. And it was Elvin, now Showtime. Who's coming down this time? I don't think too many of these drivers can get away with trying to stay out any more than another 5 laps, I don't think. Especially the leader, Parley, who came down 2 laps before that 7 of Showtime Flash.
43 already made his stop. The 7 peeling out of his pit stall now. 44 has already made his stop ages ago, so he's just kind of riding this thing out and hoping he can cycle out ahead. He's going to come out ahead of the 7, and by a wide margin, in fact.
Yeah, half a straightaway.
So the 44 has him beat. However, we got the battle for second place. The 50 car stepped out of line, but the 78 was not going to wait around. They're side by side. Parley's going to signal down the back straightaway. He's going to pit this time. Who else does?
I think right now everybody's still doing what Parley does. Whoa!
Everybody
Boy, the
except for the
50 had a
24.
really late break.
Very late.
Whoa, I thought we were going to see Calamity going into the pits, but he was able to get that car slowed up. But Black Cross throwing caution to the wind, trying to solidify himself into the final 4, stays out. The last car to come down pit road. He wants to have the freshest tires on track at the end of this one. Because that might even help him too, because that would help him at the end of the stage. Because a guy like Field Filler will take longer on pit road than Black Cross is if he can stretch this fuel run.
It's a 2-tire stop for the 5 car. Might be for the 50 as well, as they are even come out of the pits. And they're going to cycle out ahead of the guys that have already pitted.
Yeah, the problem with...
now.
Yeah, and the problem with everybody that's already pitted is that they all came down in single car tandems. So, or a single car, like all by themselves. So when they came out, they didn't have any help. Meanwhile, everybody up front stayed in their draft and was able to just carry more speed around this track than those who came down pit road.
Varying on where the 24 comes out, this stage could come down between the 5 and the 50.
Well, right now we're seeing the 24 Black Cross come out of his pit right now. He's already on the backstretch, or about to be. Oh my! That worked out in spades for Black Cross. He's miles ahead of Parley.
What a huge call by the 24.
5.5 second gap.
It's not even close.
Black Cross showing he wants it. Now we'll be able to fight for this stage win, as we now have 3.5 laps to go. The fight only on for second, and that's not even a battle right now. The 50 is starting to lose ground on the 5 car Parley when he was right on his tail not 2 laps ago. I'm telling you what though, if Black Cross is able to lock himself in to the championship 4. These guys better watch out because that is the ultimate championship sleeper right now. When Black Cross is on his game, like dialed in, he can hit his marks on pit road. He can keep that car right where he wants it on track. He is going to be a dangerous player when it comes to Homestead.
And he can really take it easy because the rest of the competition is all kind of separated each other. The 5 and the 50 no longer working together. This 24 can coast at home and get the stage win. He's got, I think, one more lap left.
Yeah, white flag in the stage, this time by Black Cross. Has just got to hit his marks here on track. Everybody looks like little ants behind him. They're barely even a speck in his mirror at this point. Now down the backstretch, going into turn 3. The battle for second is not really even a battle at all. Second, third, and fourth are pretty equidistant at this point. But the 24 Black Cross will come out of turn 4, hit the tri-oval, and cross the line as your stage 1 winner. With Parley finishing runner-up, the 50 in third, and the 78 of 19 finishing in 4th.
That's Field Filler going to cross the line. P5, the 7, looks like he will take 6th place. And Elvin will hold off K2000 for the 7th spot. But this is your stage 1 winner, Black Cross. Getting some attention early on. Let's see if he can hold on to it.
Yeah, I just definitely want to give a shout out to the sponsors here as I pull the page up because I don't have it up. But I definitely want to give a shout out to MFF Motorsports, Chris's Auto and Towing LLC, J Pace Racing, Everything NASCAR, Firelings Racing Network, the Super Squad, ESMN Racing, Everything Stop Motion Network, Red Line Racing, FTR Racing League, the North American Racing Series, Minipeach.com, and Flash 9 Fitness Program. Go lick all the trees.
I think Black Cross might have made love to one. With what a call that was. We're in Vegas. This 24's going all in.
Yep, putting all the chips in the middle of the table as he leads him to green to start stage 2 with Parley to his outside, and he's got the 50 and the 78 right on their tail. But right now, Parley has a pretty bad entry going into 1. The 50 of Shack Attack will now look to the inside of Black Cross, fight for the lead, and take control of this Vegas race. But Black Cross staying strong to the outside, definitely using the momentum, carrying through the corners, putting the pinch on him, trying to get him a little bit loose down at the bottom. But right now, the 24 is the one with help with the 44 Field Filler. But here comes Parley to back up the 50 of Shack Attack.
That 50 car is not here to play points. He's here to win. And that 50 car rockets to the front.
Yeah, and we say it every week, too. There's something to be said about just trying to prove yourself. To show that, you know, I can race in every single league, whether it's the Pro-Am Series or the Pro Series here at Phantom, that every race Shack Attack has been in, he has been top 3 or better. So definitely unsurprising to see this 50 out in front right now.
5 car peeking to the bottom. He's got 1-9 following suit.
Oh, a 2x2 going in. Oh, there goes the 2x2 as the 78 of 19 gets a little bit
Field
squirrely on
peeking
entry.
3 wide.
Oh, no, the 24 got loose. Tried to cut the nose off a Field Filler, and it ended up almost causing a 3-car crash and almost took Black Cross out of this race. But everybody goes back straight.
That was a fight for real estate right there. The 24 was like kind of a little hesitant to pull up to the wall. The 44 saw an opening and went for it. 24 kind of ran him up just kind of like he did right there. They bounced off each other, and the 78 was an innocent bystander. But luckily for those guys, did a really good job sorting it out. We're back to 2x2 as we were before.
Yeah, you can see the drive out of Black Cross to keep his position. He knows if he drops at all, the car that's underneath the 44 is a car he's racing to get to Homestead, which is now 3 wide for the lead, coming out of 2.
Shack attack in the middle. Partly to the bottom. 24 stays up top. The 44 is going to go with him. Who's going to give? Nobody. Field filler might make it 4. Does he make it 4?
Oh my God. Almost 4 wide for the lead. Black Cross actually has the edge. And now it's 2x2 and 3 wide for third.
It's a tandem duel up at the front. The 24 tries to control both lanes as he tried to chop down the 5, but he was too late. Partly's going to clear him down the back.
Oh, and look who's now underneath Black Cross. It's that 78 of 19. Now fighting for second as they're side by side. 19 drifts up a little bit through 3 and 4. And 24 had to let off just a little bit to avoid running into 19, and now the 78 move him up to P2 as Black Cross still fighting for real estate with the 50 of Shack Attack.
Field filler taking it upstairs, nothing there. 19 try to peek down, he's going to tuck back in line, but the 50 car is going to take a look to the inside as Partly's got this thing all under control. But it's the entire field all under a blanket. Elvin and Kay got their stuff sorted out. They're in the mix as well.
Oh, and don't look now, but we're 3 wide again for P2. Field filler trying to insert himself into the equation, and now ends up making contact with the 50 who gets into the 24. And now Black Cross finds himself at the back of this train, or near the back of this train. Meanwhile, the 78 of 19 might be, has now found himself in second.
44 and 50 seem to be at each other's throats. That was a very aggressive block from the 44. Heading into the third turn, as the 50 car tried to set him up, just couldn't quite get to him. And he's thought about blocking him again, but he's going to let him have it this time. And a great job by Black Cross keeping it off the wall. That could have been disastrous for him.
Oh, yeah, no. That was almost race over. He's had a couple of those instances in this stage where it's been 3 wide, and he's almost gotten caught in some calamity that would have absolutely ruined him. But getting back to the battle between Shack Attack and Field Filler, that's the downside of being a car. Try to prove yourself is you're not quite racing for the same thing that everybody else in the field is racing for, so they're going to be a little less lenient to you when it comes to giving you the position or not, because in a way you're taking points from them that they could be using to try and help guide them in the next round.
Absolutely, but I think the 50 car realizes that as well, and he kind of enters these events with a I don't give a you-know-what attitude, and it kind of shows with how aggressive he is, and he's able to put his car in places that most probably wouldn't consider, and it's worked out for him in most cases. All of this action that's been kind of going on up front, and then you got the 7 car who's just kind of chilling like a sideline reporter, just getting the scoop. He's staying within the action, but he's not trying to raise any eyebrows right now, as he has pretty much been the quietest of this entire bunch, and I think that's how he'd prefer it right now.
I'm actually kind of glad you brought that up, because I totally forgot where Showtime even was. He is just kind of taking the front row seat. He's absolutely putting his car in the best save mode possible, to where he's not making all these risky moves, burning up his tires. He's just shooting a gap if it's there. But other than that, I think Showtime, knowing he's got to make 2 more green flag pit stops this stage alone, is all but Will is more than willing to just let everybody fight their fight, and I'm just gonna keep riding my lines.
Well, now he's going to be side by side with the 24 down to his inside.
And yeah, and you can see it too. He is more than willing. Black Cross, you want to go ahead of me? Go right ahead. I'll be here. Goodbye. Now you can see too when he comes out of the corner, he's riding right in the 24's draft. The 7 trying to get everything he can at the start of this stage before that first round of stops. So that way he can stay out as long as he can. Probably about, if he plays his cards right, 2 or 3 laps longer than the next car behind him that would pit.
1-9 looking to the inside, going back for the lead on Parley.
Oh, and the problem with Parley right now is he is on the outside and he doesn't have anybody with him to help push that car along, but it looks like he doesn't need it as he has a rocket of an entry going into turn 1 and is able to stay side by side with 1-9.
You better hope that he doesn't need to pit soon, because if he is on the outside, good luck.
Yeah, that's true too. I don't actually have the stream pulled up right now.
50 car threading it through the middle. Look at this move.
Oh my! What a move! As now they're 2x2 for the lead and 3 wide again for third. Oh, it's a 24 going right up to the 44.
We got some signaling. The 44 is taking his approach to pit entry. That's going to be everybody except for the 7.
Yeah,
Alvin's
and we
going to
kind
gain
of
some time here.
Yeah, it gets by the 44 field filler on entry. But what? Oh no, I think the 43 at K2005 is out.
He might be out. I don't know how long he's been on pit road, but
I've seen him on pit road for a couple of laps now. I think that engine is down. I think maybe a overheating issue or an engine problem on that 43. Unfortunately ends his day, but this is what I was talking about. Showtime Flash not coming down this time. The only problem with Showtime's plan is I think he was probably hoping for at least one car to stay out with him. Being all by yourself and a draft track is not what you want to see.
It'll hurt.
But he will pit this time. So 2 laps he got over the rest of the field.
Everyone else,
but everybody else comes out together.
The 50 car is still in his stall. I don't know if you're seeing that as well.
I am.
Uh-oh. He was entering pit road with this group, and now it's a group of 5 with the 2 Hendrick cars of Parley and Blackcross leading the tow.
Which is unfortunate to see from the 50. Had a great run. There's no damage that I can see, so hoping that's just a glitch that we're seeing.
I am trying to get confirmation by looking at the track map. I see 2 dots. That 50 car is done.
Oh, that is just unfortunate. Sad to see it for the 50 car of Shack Attack. I'm really hoping it's just a glitch because he has such good runs every week that to have a malfunction right now nearing the end of the season is not what you want to see from a promising prospect like Shack Attack. But, oh, here comes the 7 double dipping.
He's double dipping. Made a late first stop. He's going to shortcut on the second.
We've seen this before. This is the Showtime special, I call it. Pits late and then short pits again to gain the track position that he lost by staying out longer than the field. We saw this at Dover. We've seen this at dang near Heavy race showtime, and it looked like that was just fuel only. He was in and out like nothing.
Kind of a different variation of the strategy we saw from the 24 in stage 1. Just in a different order.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see if it pays off, because these guys are not coming down for, about another 10 laps, maybe. So it'll be a while before we see what this little quick gas and go does for the 7 of Showtime Flash. Right now, Black Cross all over the bumper of the 5-car parlay. Black Cross wants every single point he can to keep himself ahead of the car that's behind him right now. That's 78 of 19 millimeter. And I actually got to watch 19 in another series he runs on Mondays. And boy, let me tell you what, that man can wheel right now, which is why you see Blackcross showing the desperation he does with the aggressive blocking and not really giving anybody any room on the track, because he knows a guy like 19 will capitalize on any mistake that you make.
It's the calm before the storm up here at the front.
Yeah, we just got to wait for these guys to come down pit road. About 12 laps to go in stage number 2. 2 cars already out with engine failures.
And that's the two.
Right now,
that's the 2 non-playoff contenders out of the picture, and now the playoff contenders all have the stage to themselves.
Yeah, and right now you see the 5 of Parley and the 24 Black Cross taking full advantage of it. And I think you're going to see Black Cross come down with that 5-car Parley. But I think you might see the call on pit road by the 2 very different. As one might try a 2 or 4 tire, and the other do a 4 tire stop. Knowing that we're so close to the end of this stage, is now we have 10 laps to go.
19's on pit road.
And the 42 of Elvin coming down this time. The 44, though, not in the lead draft, but if he shoots his entry right, could be right on the leaders when he comes down pit road, assuming he does with them. But no, the 5 of Parley will come down this time. The 24 and the 44 all both stay out.
Oh, I don't know. That 5-car came in with the brakes locked up. He was going in there really fast. I don't think it's going to stand, but we'll keep an eye on it.
Waiting to hear.
We'll see.
I'm not hearing anything about a black flag. I think Parley might have just dodged a bullet.
Nope, they got him.
They did. 18-second stop.
On a splash and go.
The black flag given to Parley. Now what was supposed to be a 3-second stop will be an 18-second. Black Cross continuing to stay out. Stays out another lap.
The 44 is rolling in. It's interesting that even with nobody really around him, the 44 field filler still elects to take the apron for pit road entry. Because I feel like that he's able to gas it back up, but I don't know. I just feel like he's losing time doing that.
Yeah, we did see that the first time, the first green flag stop. He pitted when he went below the apron when he was in second, and he came out nose to tail with a car that was 2 cars behind him who didn't take the apron. So he's definitely losing time right now, but I think also it's to make sure that you don't speed on pit road. Because now we see the 7 car up ahead of the 78, so he's already gotten past 1, but the 24 Black Cross is still yet to make that final green flag stop, and that will happen this time. Black Cross will come down. He'll get well slowed down enough to pit road speed, not worried about seeing the penalty come to that 24. But now the question is, where will Showtime Flash come out when it comes to the 24 Black Cross, who's already pitted? We gotta count out the 5 of Parley due to the pit road penalty that he acquired on that last round of stops. But the 24 now below the apron comes back on the track exiting turn 2 and will stay ahead of the 7 of Showtime Flash and have fresher tires, better gas, or no, they did all gas and go, but he'll still be better off in the 7.
Catching the draft of the 24.
Which will make it interesting because we've seen the desperate moves that Black Cross has made to hold on to or advance every position so far this race. What will he do if and when that 7 of Flash catches them and tries to get around? There's now the gap about a car length between the two, and the 24, bad exit out of turn 4. He scrapes that wall, and the 7 is now to his bumper. The aggressive saving of his tires that Showtime Flash showed throughout this stage, not getting involved in any battles unless he finds himself underneath one. Meanwhile, the 24 Black Cross fighting tooth and nail for every position this stage. What'll that do when it comes down to the end of this one, when tires are as much of a factor on the track like this as the draft is? Right now, 2 laps to go, sorry. 24 gonna try and pinch the 7 up high!
24 gave him no brakes there, but didn't have a choice. The 7 was not gonna let him get pushed around.
Oh, but a bad entry by Showtime Flash. Or potential crossovers. He has a monstrous run out of turn 4. White flag is out for the stage. Black Cross wants the win to help him secure his spot at Homestead. Showtime Flash wants to make up for the points that he lost last week after missing the Roval. Down the backstretch, up high, down low, Showtime. Up high now, Black Cross to the inside. Showtime has such a good exit up at turn 4. He'll be right on the bumper of Black Cross. It will not be enough though. Black Cross is your stage 2 winner.
At 24, taking care of business tonight. This is something we have not. We know this 24 is fast, but we have not seen Black Cross put together a race like he has right now.
Yeah, like I said, this is exactly what I said too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the 24 is such a dark horse. Like, do not give Black Cross an inch. He will take it a mile, which is why these guys do not want to see Black Cross go to Homestead. Otherwise, it will be a true 4-car fight for this title. I just want to give a shout out to the sponsors here in the middle of this stage, shouting out MFF Motorsports, Chris's Auto and Towing LLC, J Pace Racing, Everything NASCAR, Final Links Racing Network, the Super Squad, ESMN, Redline Racing, FTR Racing League, North American Racing Series, and MonaPeach.com. As we go back, green, what a beautiful run I just had. As Showtime Flash will lead him around, has a hair better stop than the 24 Black Cross, and is now the control car. As we'll also look at the back of this train.
Elvin Priest, where's he been all night? He's thrown himself into the mix right on time.
Yeah, I think he's seen the run that Black Cross has had, and he knows that he's got to get up and go, especially in this stage. knowing that the points are so critical, especially for him, who's now lost out on so many precious stage points. A win could put him in, and that's now why you see that 42 finally entering the chat and is now in the top 3 fighting for position.
Heck of a stop by Showtime Flash's pit crew. I think we should call them the Showtime Squad or something. Because they seem to come in clutch in times like this. He's able to get that 7 car to the lead. And he's able to stay there. And he's not really looking to get settled in back in line. He's staying up at the front. He wants to lead.
Yeah, as right now, Parley finds himself in what was a 3-wide battle with the 7-4 field filler. Now it's just a battle between him and 1-9, trying to get himself back to where he was, which is out in front of this field after having a costly speeding penalty on that last round of stops there at the end of stage 2.
With the amount of racing this group just did, it cost them quite a bit of time to this lead group. They needed to get settled in, work together if they want to stay in this race.
Yeah, and I think that's going to end up hurting them because we've seen this kind of thing happen on draft tracks where you have the two split packs, and they never really are able to gain ground on each other. They kind of just stay equidistant. As now Parley looks to take the lead of this back train. Now underneath that 44 field filler, the 78 looking to go with the 5 and leave the 44 up to the outside. But now I think in the best interest of these cars that everybody just falls back in line where they can. And now Parley is in the draft of the top 3, which with the 44 field filler still in his draft will soon close this 6-car field back together again.
I was about to jump over to the 42 radio and say extend an olive branch here. Get this 5-car back in the pack, but no need. He's already here.
Yeah, as now the 44 and the 78 look to do the same, but I'm just waiting to see what happens when we do our first round of green flag stops, knowing how much is on the line for everybody in this field, as we now have 45 laps to go, 44 and a half now laps to go in this race, and still 2 more green flag pit stops to make. There will be changes in the field as we get closer to the end. Question is, how drastic will they be? We've seen the short pit be able to work, but we've also been able to see staying out as long as you can work as well. So right now, trying to figure out what strategy you're willing to take that could potentially get you a win. And if you're the 24, the 78, or the 42, that win could get you into a fight for the championship.
We're beating and banging at the back. Has gotten these two side by side again, but the 44 is gonna take over the 5th spot from 19mm.
Yeah, and these guys are still in their draft too, so they're not really hurting yet, but they're also not gaining much, which is a little bit worrisome, especially if you're that 78 of 19. You want to get right back to those leaders as quick as possible. So that way, if any of them come down pit road, you're not scrambling on pit entry to get to their bumper and risk getting black flagged for speeding, as now we see the 5-car Parley to the inside of Elvin Priest. And now fighting for 3rd and getting 3rd. So Parley continuing to move up through this final stage. And what's interesting about the way Parley executes a pass is he gets so much after the pass. Like, as soon as he cleared Elvin, he already had a car length and was right on the bumper of Blackcross. Now, I think what you're seeing right now is a testament to how good this league is. Normally in some other leagues right now, everybody would be so spread out. But everybody right now is under a blanket, or at least the top three are. Elvin Priest in fourth is about a car length and a half behind them, and then a car length behind him is the last two cars in the field. So definitely a testament to the skill.
I was going to say, with a bite-sized field, they sure do pack a massive punch. Because we've had no shortage of action despite the small field tonight.
No, and that's what everybody loves about this series, and especially once you're in the series. So these guys really do take care of their own. They race each other for the most part cleanly. If it's coming down for a win, you know as well as these guys do on track, as you've raced with these guys, all gloves are off once we're in the final five and it's down to the win.
I want to shout out one of our sponsors. Everything NASCAR says you, Walbridge, would be winning by about 50 seconds in this field right now.
No, but change the plus to a minus and you'd be more accurate. I ain't got nothing for these guys. I would be embarrassed on this track. Right now, though, everybody staying about single file. Just getting to that first round of green flag pit stops. And I think everybody's pretty content. I think now Parley is maybe one more spot. I know Parley wants to be out front so bad. That's Parley's little happy spot. He loves being out in front of the entire field. But I think right now, playing the long game, saving what's remaining of his tires and fuel for that green flag pit stop. And I'm pretty sure everybody else is okay with letting Showtime Flash stay out in front and continue to burn his up.
Alright, look, I wouldn't be the one that's be hitting the wall. If I'm in the middle of this pack, somebody else would be, because I would not. I've already had to apologize to a few people racing last week. And that's, Parley was begging me to race tonight because of the amount of cars that ran. I'm like, bro, I'm not. Y'all got a playoff race to run. I am not getting any more blood on my hands, alright?
I thought for sure you were, because it looked like you were gonna, as I saw your side eye in the chat. So I'm like, oh, Timmy's back, and then Elvin was like, no, that was just a meme. I'm like, oh, that's boring.
Tell you what, if it's like this next week, maybe. Cause I got a pretty good
you gotta get
car.
in. Yeah, get the Homestead car ready, because if you're really gonna call it quits, you gotta do a race at Homestead. As now we see the 24 and the 42. Coming down this time, the 42 gunned it. He tried to get right to the bumper of Blackcross, but he had to hit the brakes hard to avoid getting that costly speeding penalty. As now we see the 5 of Parley signaling that he's coming down.
It'll be him in 1-9.
Oh, and that's what you want to see if you're Parley. There's a car coming with you. So we're going to have 3 two-car tandems. The 24 comes down with the 42. The 5 comes down with the 78. And the 7... Remember, I don't know if he committed. He will. And the 44 and the 7 come down this time. So this is going to... It's already lost, Elvin. They are not together right now. And here comes the 5 and the 78. They come out just about the same way they went in. And here you see, looking back on the 5, the 24 to his outside coming through turn 2. And that'll put Black Cross back ahead as we wait to see where the 7 falls. As everybody's on the front stretch, the 7 now coming out of his pit. And it looks like the 24 Black Cross will be the race leader as they come out of 2. But the 7 of Showtime Flash might be able to retain second, but the 5, so much speed on the outside, and Elvin trying, he will hold on to third. The 7 of Showtime in one fail swoop went from leading this field to being, what, about 3 seconds off the lead now?
And with all of those tandems, they are starting to merge back together. And they're gonna, ooh, 42. He's gonna get left out. I think he's on the older tires compared to the 3 he's being passed by, so they're gonna leave him hanging. Now Flash is gonna set his sights on this 5 car.
Yeah, he's right now. Everybody's pretty spread out. Except for the 3 in the back, the 44, the 78, and the 42. All find themselves under a blanket as they get right up with the 7 of Showtime Flash. As we continue to close closer and closer to the end of this race at Vegas. And so I went to go check it on our stream real quick. About 29 laps to go and 1 more stop. Now, if you're on this track, Timmy, picture yourself that you actually raced tonight. You've seen what short pitting, going exactly when you want to, or staying out as long as you can. You've seen the 3 strategies. If you're going into this final stop, what are you looking for? Are you short, middle, or going all out?
I want the freshest tires at the end. I'm gonna take it as far as I can go, as long as I'm within reach of another car. If I'm doing it by myself, you might as well count me out. But if I'm someone like Showtime Flash right now, this 7 car, he's right in the middle of this pack. He's the kind of guy that can stretch his fuel and tires as far as he wants. And if he has a draft, he'll make it work. That's where I want to be. Because if I'm short pitting, I'm a sit and duck. I'm helpless. I don't know if I have a fast enough car to be able to hold it like these guys do.
Right now, we're going to have to wait and see. The 44 and the 78 are with the leaders. But there's one car that is not with the leaders. And that would be this 42 of Elvin Priest. And I'm not one to count chickens before they hatch. But Elvin is not showing the speed of a car that's going to be going to Homestead at the end of this race.
I'd finish last either way. Bro, where's this energy in the races that I am in, bro? Come on. Getting bullied out here. On my way out. I mean, I get it. I deserve it. But, man. What'd I do to you?
Damn, Parley. Look to the inside of the 24 Black Cross. As we continue Oh, and now Parley gonna stay to the outside. The 7, a Showtime Flash, gonna try the inside. Oh, did they contact Parley in the wall?
Hard hit.
Oh, the 7, I think, hit the apron and got up into the 5 of Parley, and that shot the 5 into the wall. Oh,
Parley gonna
boy.
remember that next week. Flash ain't done. He's going for the lead now on the 24. Inside, turn 3. Door to door, side by side. They're even. 24 not giving an inch.
Not at all, but the problem with the 24 is that all the help went to the 7 of Showtime, and that'll be enough to get him to the lead. And unfortunately for all the drama lovers out there, I'm listening to the radio, and it seems like the 5 car of Parley was the one that got loose, and there was just a coming together with him and Showtime.
And then there were 4.
I'm never counting out this 5 car. We still got 1 green flag stop left. And Parley, if he doesn't get a speeding penalty this time, I think we'll be able to make it through and be just fine at the end of this one. Right now, the look is on this 7 car who's out front, and on the lap count and the tire count. Right now, Parley, if we look at his fuel time right now, about 6 laps of fuel left in that 5. So you can bet they're going to be coming down within the next 3 to 4 laps. As we now have 19 laps to go here at Las Vegas.
Looking at the damage on this 5 car. I think he's pretty much gonna get a top 5 as long as he doesn't speed. This car doesn't seem to be handling all that well with that contact.
No, Matt. It was a pretty good lick he took to the outside wall in turn 2. Which these cars may be strong, but at least body-wise, a good hit like Parley took will be enough to get your car out of whack. And also not having anybody with you to help you get back to the pack that you just lost the draft with. Definitely also not helping.
And with the amount of cars we have in the field, I don't think he's going to expect a caution either.
No, I don't think that he'll be able to be saved by no debris caution.
No bell to bail him out. What's the 24 doing? He's coming down to pit road now.
Here we go. He's doing what you said. Do the short... Oh, no, he's not doing what you said. He's doing the opposite. He's going short pit. And the 5 car and the 42 think the same. But there is quite of a sizable gap between the 3 cars. What effect will that have on pit exit and getting back on the track in a timely manner? As right now the 7 and the 44 stay out. The 78 of 19 comes down this time. 2 cars.
Put user in timeout button is really enticing right now.
Oh? Who's going in timeout?
So shout out to one of our sponsors. Anyway, Flash is coming in now. Field Filler is not. He's staying out on track.
Field Filler doing exactly what you said. Shooting for the stars with this one. pushing that car to its absolute limit.
The chips are on the table. This 44 is going all in for about a lap. Oh, wait, you're on the backstretch. Never mind. Ignore that.
Can't spell Grambling without gambling, and we're at the best place to do it. As the 44 should come down this time, and he does. Down to pit road. The question is, who will be your leader at the end of this? The 24 ahead of the 5. Where's the 7 still on pit road? And it looks like he will not come out ahead of Black Cross. Maybe. But Black Cross already entering turn 1 and carrying a head of steam. The 7 still below the apron and will not come out ahead of Black Cross. Black Cross will assume the race lead if he can get by the 44 on his pit exit, because the 44 did not get a speeding penalty or anything. An absolute clean stop. Where will they come out? It will be Black Cross, your leader. He now passing the 44 on the entry of turn 1. They're putting the chips all on the table does not pay off for Field Filler. He will come out far behind the leader. But right now the question is how long does it take this 3-car tandem to catch Black Cross? A man on an island right now with a 3-car Hornet's Nest closing in lap by lap.
I'm surprised this 5-car, despite the damage that he had sustained, he's able to cycle out ahead of the 78, and he's within reach of Showtime Flash. He is still in this thing.
I told you, I'm never counting Parley out.
Never count him out.
I have been in this league not very long, but long enough to know that Parley is never out of a race unless he takes himself out.
On board with the 7. His time is starting to run out for him.
Coming now to 10 laps to go. The 24 Black Cross knows that if he stays, actually if the 78 and the 42 and or the 42 do not get a win, that he is locked in. As you see him now, he just gives the spot up to the 7. He cannot risk letting the 5 and the 78 catch them and fight for this win, because if the 78 wins, even though Black Cross has 2 stage wins, with not a lot of cars in the field, there's not that point differential from 1st to 10th, because we don't even have 10 cars in the field. So the points battle is still close between those two. I think it's pretty safe to say that Elvin is all but out.
Most likely, yeah.
At this point, which is unfortunate. But also, unfortunately, not surprising given the run running in the playoffs that we've seen out of Elvin this season, which again will be his final season in Phantom. As right now the 7, looking ahead, is breaking away from the 24 now. Oh, I don't know. I was going to say, would you drop back to that 3-car tandem? That 3-car train that's behind you and try and work together to get back up to the 7, but you only have like 6 laps.
Yeah, it's
this time by to go.
Honestly, if I were the 24, I would have been much more defensive. Like, I get, like, why he let him go, because that would have allowed that other pack to close back in, but I kind of felt like the 24, because he pitted earlier, he wasn't going to have the tires to keep up with Flash, and it's showing already. Like, he's already lost touch of him. I probably would have put up more of a fight.
Yeah, but there's two sides to every coin. You could be still in the lead, controlling your destiny, but that 78 of 19 could also be right on your tail if you go side by side with the 7 for too long, and then it's a 5-horse race.
I wish he did play more defensive, because that would have been more interesting for us, too.
It would have been, but he played the safest bet he could. And if it means a chance at a championship, especially for a guy who's shown all day that no matter what he does on pit road, he will always come out ahead, I think he's gotten everything he wanted out of this race. Not everything he could get, but everything he wanted. I think it's going to be the 24 Blackcross that will advance into the championship 4 at the end of this race, if all stays the same.
Well, up to third place, Field Filler's on the move. He's got the freshest set of tires. Time might be running out for him to get the win, but second place could be up for grabs.
Yes, we got 2.5 laps left in this race at Vegas. Is pivotal race, and we've seen desperation from everybody in this field. Now 2 laps left to go. Blackcross continuing to lose touch on the leader. Not by much, about maybe a half a tenth to a tenth a lap, but not gaining. But also in his mind, he's not losing, as the cars will now come out of turn 4. And Showtime Flash will be shown the white flag. 1 lap to go at Vegas. Showtime to potentially lock himself in as the number 1 seed going in to Vegas, or not Vegas, sorry, Homestead next week. The 24 looking to solidify his position in that championship 4. They now come out of turn 4. The 7 sees the checkered flag waving. He will cross the line, and Showtime Flash is your winner. And by de facto of the 24 crossing the line in second would mean that Blackcross will take over the final transfer spot and fight for a championship at Homestead.
Almost a near perfect night for that 24. Like, he got nearly all of the points that he needed to stay above the cutoff. And as for Flash, it'll be a shot at defending his crown as the defending champion here in the Phantom Pro Series, looking to go for 2 in a row.
But with the good comes the bad. And crossing the line, the 78 of 19 sees his shot, sees his door into the 4 shut for good, along with the soon-to-be retired Elvin Priest, who also will not advance to fight for a title in his farewell season. As now we wait for that top 3, the 7, the 24, and I believe it's 19, right?
I think it was Field Filler.
Oh, Field Filler, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, he backed out of the race early. I missed him. No, excuse me. Time flashes. There is Flash, and there is Blackcross, the top three now in the booth as we get ready to do post-race interviews. Nizal actually let Timmy do third and first, and I'll do second on this one.
Alright, field filler. I believe you got third place, correct? You got a copy?
Yep, I got you, Timmy.
Alright, man. Kind of an up and down race. It'll be a small field. We're able to kind of keep it clean for most of the race. Like, you got a pretty good, had a pretty good cushion points-wise heading into tonight, so not really a whole lot to worry about.
I knew that. I knew that going in.
So just walk me through, just I guess your mindset heading into tonight.
I was just messing around. I was seeing what my car would do in the first couple of stages. I was pitting early, seeing if that would work. It didn't work. The other guys took no tires. I'd take 4 tires, just see how much I could run them down. So I know what to do on the last stage. And then the last stage, I thought, well, pitting early ain't no good, so I'll just try to be the last one to pit every time. I knew I couldn't hurt my playoff position, so I just tried all kinds of different stuff. I probably should have pitted with Flash if I wanted to go for the win. I should have pitted with him, but I didn't. I'd take a top 3. That's fine. I'd have been okay with 5th.
Hey, that Homestead car.
Just trying a lot of different stuff to see whether it'd work or not. But,
how's that Homestead car coming along?
I think I got a good piece at Homestead. That's why I was pretty relaxed here. So I'm excited for next week.
All right, we're excited to see you there, and congrats on a good result tonight. We'll see you next week at Homestead.
Thank you, Tim.
That is field filler, your third place finisher.
As now we get to the man of the hour, the sneak man of the hour, the 24 of Blackcross, right in that cutoff line. He was on the good side going into the race, and he stays on the good side at the end of it. Now will officially be running for a title in Homestead next week. Blackcross, walk me through this one. What was the emotion going into this race, knowing that you were only 2 points to the good to go to Homestead?
Thank you for letting me know that I'm good to go, because I didn't check the points. I didn't know how close it was. I thought I was going to have to win this race in order to get into the championship. It was a good race, though, all in all. Winning both stages and finished second. And I thought I was going to be able to keep up with Flash there at the end. I decided to let him by to pull away, but he pulled away from me. But that was a big mistake. I ain't going to be doing that again. It was a good race, all in all.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that you did know the point situation, that with the 78 behind you, I thought you were trying to just make sure he didn't get by you, so that way it wouldn't be a scrap at the end to try and keep each other from winning. But now you got Homestead to look forward to. What is the emotion? Walk me through the emotion knowing that everything you've worked for throughout these playoffs has now come to fruition, and you are going to Homestead to fight for a title.
It feels good. You never know if you're going to be able to get there again, so it feels good all the time to get there. So knowing that I'm going to be able to go compete for it, it feels good.
And is Homestead a track that you think you have something for these other 3 cars that are in the field?
Possibly, hopefully. All you gotta do is go with confidence. Right now I actually really don't have any, but I'll still go in there and try to win.
All right, well, congratulations on the top 2, and even better yet, congratulations on making it into the championship 4, buddy. Can't wait to see you.
Thank you.
And that is your second place finisher, the 24 of Blackcross.
And now we turn to the man of the hour, capturing yet another checkered flag, and yet another shot at going for the title. Showtime Flash chasing for 2 in a row. Do you think you got it?
I certainly hope so. Homestead is either really good to me or a disappointment, so I'm hoping that we can replicate what we did last season and try to get 2 in a row here.
Yeah, and you got to race in that championship race last season, albeit a little different. Different cars raced a little different than the old cars are. What's anything that you could probably take from last season, whether it's approach or just mentality that you could take into this race, or just what's the mindset heading into the next week?
I don't know. I'll probably run it, the same I always do. It's the first 2 stages, don't really mean anything. You just gotta try to keep yourself in position and, try to have everything in line for the 3rd stage, and, you can't make a mistake. So, I'll definitely try to stay away from the wall off of turn 4 like somebody else, and I think I'll have a great shot to win.
Alright, shots fired.
I think.
Wow!
I knew he was in here.
I think if I'm running behind you, Flash, I'm gonna pit when you pit, and maybe in the last pit, I might give you a little nudge in the pit.
Well, I'll be in bed by about 10 o'clock if that happens. I think the Final Four is going to be good. I assume Parley is the other one. So with him, and I've battled Black Cross for a couple championships in a different league, and I've battled Field too. So, all the other 3 are certainly capable of winning as well. And whoever wins it will definitely have earned it.
Well, there you go. I look forward to seeing you next week, going for a chance to defend your crown, Showtime Flash, race winner, and potentially going for a championship next week. Congratulations.
All right, thank you, Timmy.
That is our top 3. I try to get Parley in here, since he is our other championship contestant, but he's not in the party right now, so I don't know.
He's
Elvin, do you wanna say
sleepy.
anything? Walbridge, do you wanna ask Elvin anything or something? I don't know.
Yeah, Elvin, not the championship run you wanted to have, especially in a farewell season. You showed in that final stage that you were able to run with the leaders. Walk me through your race and the emotion right now.
I'm happy, dude. I'm not as mad as I would have been if this happened last season. I will say that, dude. This controller would be in my wall right now. But I'm just I'm ready for the next chapter. I'll say that. And congrats to all the Final Four members. I didn't deserve it. I ran out of gas at the end. We'll say that. Like, I ran out of my juice. I just stopped trying. And these guys didn't, and they kept it, flat-footed in that motherfucker, and they, they're the Final Four, and, congratulates to all of them. Yep, you heard me. I kind of fucked that up, but, I'm just happy for them. Yeah, we'll gloss over, we'll do that. But, I'm just ready for the next chapter, moving on to iRacing, and, I wish everybody the best, except for that 7 car. Last season, put me in the wall. That's exactly what happened. As I recall, put me right in the friggin' wall, ripped the wheel right out of my hands, and,
I'm getting a headache.
And, it was crazy, man.
Yeah, no. Is there a little thing in the back, like a little voice in the back of your head that you wish that you were able to make it to the championship for, that the playoffs went different to where you could be fighting for what could have been your last potential championship in Phantom?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say yeah, because my competitive side, it's still there. It's just it's a dying flame at this point, and for this game because I've been playing it for so long, and yeah, it'd be nice if I could get in there. It would have been awesome. Um, but we didn't, and it's all good. I'm content where I am, and hopefully this league is better than it was this season, next season.
Well, it's definitely looking that way, and we want to wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and you still have one more race to potentially, if you want to, steal a win before you bid farewell to the rest of us. So, looking forward to seeing you at Homestead one last time, bro.
Yep.
As now we see that Parley is in the chat, and I'll have Timmy take it away with Parley.
Parley, you got a copy?
I got a copy.
All right, man. Not the result you were looking for tonight, but that's not what's important right now. What's important is that you're pretty much locked in for the championship next week. Just walk me through how that feels and what's the approach going to be heading in Homestead.
Yeah, it feels good. I knew that coming into this race. I still wanted to try and get a win out of it. I worked on this car, it was very fast. And then as the race went on, I was just hanging in there, I guess, say the least. But I'm excited for Homestead. I know it's going to be a very tough Final Four. I got to work on some strategy skills, maybe reach out to a few people that might know a thing or two to maybe have a chance at the final. But I'm excited, man. I mean, it's the final race, you know what I mean? So, and then we're going on to work on another season after this. So I'm also excited for that. So,
Parley, hook up with me. I'll give you all the info you need. You won't even have to practice.
okay, perfect. I need something, man. Just something. So I gotta, make it interesting. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate everyone that's in this league, and I mean, I know we're not sequenced to it yet, but I'm excited for next season too.
Absolutely, and I guess one final question. You were talking about kind of hanging on towards the end there. That contact with the wall, was that kind of part of it? Was the car just kind of slipping away from you, or what happened there?
Well, yeah. So I knew Flash had a lot fresh tires than I did, and I threw it in my fuel saving gear, and it got underneath me, and I just tried to. I put it in third in a very bad time when it was kind of in the middle of the corner, and that's just the racing in me where I didn't want to lose that position, but it also cost me. And I just unfortunately got loose, kind of clipped the wall, had a little bit of damage, and I was forced to pit early and not repair my damage to try and salvage something, and just slipped away from me. And then I just kind of settled it. I was like, whatever, it's fine. I'm in the race next season or next race. So it is what it is. It wasn't the finish that I wanted, but I mean, I'll take it. I'll take a champion for it any day, man.
There you go. Looking at big picture next week, and hopefully you can actually be able to compete in this one, unlike last season,
Well, last season I kind of lagged out, so
Yeah, that's what I'm
anything better
saying.
than that is fine with me. I'm not going to run the 5 Clover car. I know it doesn't exist because it wasn't developed in the game, but I'm not going to do it in case if it does come out before next week.
There you go. And that's our final four, ladies and gentlemen. And I think we're ready to head on out, unless anyone has a final message they want to put out there before we close out.
Good race, guys. Good night. I'm out.
All right. We'll be
Yeah, they're
seeing you
selling a
guys.
burger stool, dude. Oh shoot, you're not done yet?
No, we still got to close out. We got to thank sponsors one last time.
Oh yeah.
And also got to thank the fans, all the viewers, all the subscribers that have been throughout the entire journey. And also, it's not too late to join the journey. You can subscribe to the channel now if you want. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. And you might enjoy some racing along the way. So click that subscribe button if you must. Also like the stream. We go live every Thursday night for the Pro Series, but we still got the Pro-Am Championship this Saturday to be decided at Homestead. So if you want to tune in for that, I would highly recommend clicking that notification bell. So that way you get notified when we go live Saturday at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And then, of course, next Thursday will be the season finale for the Pro Series. And you've already heard from our Final Four. You'll be seeing them again next week. So thanks to everyone for tuning in tonight. Tonight's program has been brought to you by our sponsors like MFF Motorsports, Chris's Auto / Towing LLC, J Pace Racing, Everything NASCAR, who's been bullying me in the chat. He'll be going to timeout soon if he isn't careful. Firelinks Racing Network, the Super Squad, Everything Stop Motion Network, FTR Racing League, North American Racing Series, MinaPeach.com, Redline Racing, and the Flash 9 Fitness Program, hashtag Lick a Mother Licking Tree. What are you thinking about doing that?
Licking trees?
Maybe.
I like a tree.
Our championship contenders are going to be venturing through all of the forests in the world, finding the most exquisite tree saps so they can gain all of the strategy and knowledge that they need for next week. But until then, this has been the Phantom Racing League right here on YouTube. We will see you guys next week. Take care, everybody.